Hello, Lamb Chop. The White House is calling for an increase of $54 billion in spending for the Department of Defense after President Trump promised, quote, one of the greatest military buildups in American history. He said that last week. Hawkish Republicans say the military was in steep decline under President Obama. They applaud the president's move to expand the armed forces. Critics point out that the defense budget is already over $600 billion. Which they say is more than enough to protect the nation from external threats. Do we really need an increase to fight ISIS? And where's all that money going to come from? Well, let me ask Bryan Suits, a trigger puller, an Iraq combat veteran, and host of the Dark Secret Place on KFI AM 640. That's our radio station in Los Angeles and the Southland. Suits, welcome back.
La La Land. Thank you very much.
Your best picture. Well done, Bryan. So I know that you have a nice, meaty libertarian streak running right through your loins. And you know as well as I do that some of that money, some of that $600 billion, is not necessarily well spent. Why not figure out the places where the military is not spending money effectively and move that to the places where it is really necessary, like fighting ISIS?
Well, that is what the budget increase probably hopes to recover from, and that is basically the willful ignoring of conventional land warfare that we've done for the past 16 years. We've been fighting global counterinsurgency at the expense of the bread and butter, take that hill kind of warfare that we might find ourselves in the next 4 or 5 years. And you know, this basically Trump is calling a flash mob tomorrow. This is not the State of the Union, but it'll look like it to the average Trump voter. And he's going to basically say, we can either defend the country or fund sanctuary cities. And it's not binary, but this is going to set up the politics that he needs to increase the defense budget. And also, a dollar is different in 2017 than it was on 9/11/2001. And then he will also tout the fact that Lockheed has already said that his personal intervention is responsible for a $790 million decrease in the price tag of the F-35. So take this guy to your used car lot and have him negotiate for you.
Let's kick a few tires, and if you don't come see me today, I can't save you any money, Bryan. You know that. Well, I also know that the military budget falls under discretionary spending. And unfortunately, there's not enough to cut from the discretionary budget that's going to make any long-term difference to the amount of debt that we owe to other countries, and certainly not to the deficit. And then you also have the problem of sequestration, because if there is another government shutdown at the end of April, that automatic 10% hits the Department of Defense a lot harder than it does, say, the Commerce Department.
Or the National Park Service.
Yeah, how does the president shield the Defense Department from sequestration?
And this is where the unique thing about the Pentagon is that the National Park Service doesn't have any groundbreaking technology in the pipeline, you know, that they're researching. It does affect the Pentagon differently, but he'll do it because this is how you use a all-Republican Congress. This is what you do. You bring a bat. And you say teamwork, baseball. You invoke Al Capone from Untouchables, and these guys, until the big Russia investigations get underway, they have to go home to their home districts in flyover country, and they got to get reelected. So Trump is saying tomorrow, if you're with me, I need $54 billion more, and if you're not, I need a list of names, and you're not going to get reelected. Yeah,
but I also don't appreciate the argument that if somehow you're looking at responsible military spending, you're unpatriotic and you hate the military. Because that's not necessarily the case.
I don't either. But I know his playbook. You know, he's going to show up at Congress tomorrow night. He's going to release a cage of rabbits, as Dr. Tom Nichols says. One will be marked transgender bathroom. You know, and in the meantime, he's going to talk to his bread and butter to his constituency, and he's going to say, as promised, I'm here for better national defense, and it's not a choice between sanctuary cities and a bloated State Department. Because, by the way, the State Department has a lot of fat to trim, All right, Suits, thanks so much. Good to see you.